All right, we'll start in 1 more minute, class. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Okay, class. Good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and get the lecture started. But before I do that, let's talk about the agenda. All right, this Wednesday and Thursday, you have 2 days to do the exam number 2. Okay? Be sure you do the practice. It says Al Khatib review for exam 2. And for the exam, you need the formula sheet that about the interests, compounded interest, annuity, whatever. You need a calculator. Okay? And you can take the test either on Wednesday or Thursday. Since you're taking the test on Wednesday, also that means we're not going to meet this Wednesday. This will be the time for you guys to start taking the test. Once you take the exam, Friday morning, since I'm giving you 2 days to finish the test, Friday morning I will post the grades for exam 2 on Canvas. Be sure you check them, be sure they're correct. Okay? For this week of March 29th, you only have one small assignment, which was about probability. So today we'll finish the chapter on sets and probability. Once they take the exam, and next week we'll start a new chapter. Okay? All right. You guys always read the announcements. Be sure you stick by them. Does anybody have any question before I start the lecture today?
Yes.
Go ahead.
How many hours will be exam?
I didn't limit it.
So it's limitless. So we can do and then come back again.
Very good. Very good. Any other question?
So it means yes, right? We can do partially, for example, and after come back again after a few hours.
The answer is yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, you can do some and come back and do the rest. Any other question? Okay. It's very important to pay attention to the announcements class every week. So this week you only have short homework left. Remember last week homework, I extended it because I'm finishing today. Okay. So you notice that I extended your homework from last week. Did you all notice that or no?
Yes.
Okay. So, but my advice to you is try to practice. The exam number 2 does not include sets and probability. It's only on interest, simple interest, compound interest, and linear programming. Only covers the previous chapters. Okay, so try to do the homework after you get ready for the exam. Okay, all right. So let's finish this chapter on sets and probability today. There are three things we're going to cover today. One of them is conditional probability. Okay, so here's the formula, and I'll tell you what each stands for here. All right, the way you read this, probability of E, this slash means given F, equals. What does N E intersection F means? The number of elements that are common between E and F. Divided by N of F means the number of elements of F. Okay. So this is called conditional probability. So let me just give you, for example, give you an easy example what this is all about before I start giving you more examples. Let's say I tell you what's the probability of pulling, let's say I have a deck of cards, pulling the card 3, given that it is a spade. The way you write this as so E3 is event E, spade is event F. Okay. Let me just show you what given that means, class. And I always like to give you the cards example to make you understand it. Everything that comes after given that it is a spade means you cheated. Means somebody shuffled the cards, he pulled the card, but for some reason you looked at the card, but you didn't know it was exactly 3, but you knew for sure it was a spade. So given that means you know for a fact what this second sample space is, but you don't know if it's a 3. So your sample space in this case is 13 because there are 13 spades, but you don't know if it's a 3. But how many 3s there are spades? 1. So the answer is 1 out of 13. Okay? This is basically anything that comes after the word given that means like you cheated. That's your sample space. You know exactly what that is, but you don't know the exact number before given that. If you want to use the formula that I gave you, number of elements that's common between, what are the numbers that are 3 and spades? There's only one 3 of spades. Over the number of elements of F. F is spades. How many spades you have is 13. So this thing about cheating makes you to really understand what do you mean by conditional probability, which is that says the word given that. Okay? All right. Do you understand what I'm talking about here, class? Are we good? Okay, you can go ahead and copy it, please. And I'll show you another example with 2 dice. Okay, did you all finish copying it?
Yes.
Okay. I think the next example now, you'll understand conditional probability better, all right? Okay. So I'm going to, remember, we're still working on conditional probability. Probably going to take us 30 minutes to make you understand it better. Let's say, here's another example of conditional probability. Let's say I roll the die twice. Not one time, two times. I might get 1, then 1, or 1 and 6, 6 and 1, 5 and 3, whatever. What's the probability that you get the sum of the rolls equals 7 equals 8, given that both rolls are even? Okay, what does that mean? It means you cheated. Anything that comes after, given that you cheated, means you kind of look at the dice, you know, when I add them, I got an even. Like I know it's like either 2 or 4, 2 or 6, you know, I mean, both of them are what? Even. But you don't know which ones add up to 8. So what do you do first? First, you have to put your sample space. What happens when you roll the die twice? It's very important, class. You don't just say, oh, I might get 6 tries. No. In order to figure out what are all the sample space when you roll the die twice is you start with the number 1. I might get 1, 1. Right? Let me erase this formula here. I might get 1, 2, 1, 3, or 1 and then 4. So remember, I'm rolling it twice. 1, 5, or 1, 6. Okay, remember, I'm rolling it twice. I'm done with everything that starts with 1, or I might get what? 2. Let me start with the 2. I might get 2, 1, 2, and then 2 on the dice. 2, 3, all the way to 2, 6. Or I might get what? 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, or 3, 6. Or I might get what? 4, 1, 4, 2. You can copy along with me, class, so that way we save us time. 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, and 4, 6. Or I might get what? 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5, or 5, 6. Or I might get what? 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, or 6, 6. So these are my sample space. There is no way in the world that if I roll the die twice, I'm going to get any 2 sequence of number other than this. Do you agree? This is everything I might get. I might roll first 1 and then the second number 1. Or I made this first number 1, then 2. Or I might roll the first number 2, then 1. This one covers everything. So if I roll the die twice, the smartest way to put my sample space starts with 1 all the way to 6, 2 all the way to 6, and so on. Do you agree, class, so far?
Yes.
Are we good? Okay. Now, so what's the question? Question is, what's the probability that sum of the rolls is 8, given that both rolls are even. I put given are even here. Sorry. So what I do first is I count how many of them are even, and I list them. 1, 1. There's no way. That's not both even, right? That's odd and odd, odd and even. So on row 1, none of them are both even. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes. What about row 2? 2 is even, 1 is odd. 2 and 2 is one of them, right? We're both even. 2, 3, no. 2 and 4 both even. 2, 5, no. 2 and 6. So do you agree from row 2? These are the only even ones. They're both even. Yes. Waiting for a response. Right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Row 3 will be stupid too because it starts with 3. 3 is odd. There's no way in the world they're both going to be even, right? What about 4? 4, 1, that's even and odd. 4, 2, right? So 4, 2 is good because they're both even. 4, 3, no. 4, 4, yes. 4, 5, no. 4, 6, yes. Right? What about the fast? Okay. Number 5 is all going to be wrong. Why? You cannot pick any of them because starts with an odd means there's no way in the world they're both going to be even. 6. 6, 1. 6 is even, 1 is odd. Nope, they're not both even. 6, 2, yes. 6, 3, no. 6, 4 is yes. 6, 5, no. 6, 6 is yes. So do you agree? These are the ones that are all even. So I did all the sets where are what? That comes after even. These are the ones that are both rows are even. Are we good so far? Are we good so far?
Yes.
Now I'm going to do the one before given that. The sum is 8. How many of them add up to 8? 1, 1, 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 6 is 7. No. The second row, 2 and 6 is 8. The third row, 3 plus 5 is 8. Third row, 4 and 4 is 8. 5, 5 and 3 add up to 8. And then 6 and 2 add up to 8. So the one in red is the one that add up to 8. The one in blue are the ones that are what? Both rows are what? Even. Are we good so far? Are we good so far?
Yes.
So what's the formula? How many of them are in common? 2, 6. Do I see 2, 6 here? Yes, that's 1. 3, 5. Nope. 4, 4. Yes, that's 2 of them. 5, 3. Nope. 6, 2. Yes. So there's 3 in common. Do you agree? The 2 and 6 is common between the blue and the red, right? The 2 and 6 is one of them, right? 4 and 4 and 6 and 2. These are the only 3 numbers that are common between what? The sum equals to 8 and the one where both of them are even. That's what the formula says, number of elements in common. So how many of them are in common? 3. Are we good with how I got the 3? Are we good?
Could you please repeat about 3 explanation?
You just, the ones that you listed, the sum equals 8 are these. And the sum that are add up to 8 are right here, all one in the blue. The one that are, they're both even are right here. The one that add up to 8 are right here. 3 comes in, what does the formula says? What's in common? 2, 6, 2, 6. 3, 5 is not, You just look at how many of them are the same between the blue and the red. I counted 3 of them are the same. 3 are in both of them, common. That's where the 3 comes from. So 2, 6, 4, 4, and 6, 2 are the only ones that are found in both of them. Are you okay now?
Yes.
Now, what are you going to divide by? You divide by after what's given. Rows that are even. These are all even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of them. And I can reduce 3 over 9 by dividing both sides by 3. And my final answer is 1 over 3. But I cannot get that answer unless what? I put every single outcome from what? The sum is 8 and what? Both rows are even. If I don't put them all together, I cannot answer the question. Correct. Right? Okay, you can go ahead and copy it, and you still have a question, let me know. Whenever it's done, let me know so I can just show you more examples.
You just raise it.
Okay, can I raise the board now? Yes? All right, let's give me another example on conditional probability. Here's something similar to your homework. I always like to give you a harder question than your homework. Okay, the question. So you roll the die once, just one time this time. That's what's similar to your homework. What's the probability that you get a number? It is 6. Given that it is an odd number. What does that mean? You cheated. Your numbers are either 1, 3, or 5 for sure. Right? Because you know that's what given that means. So the chance of getting 6 is impossible. So the answer is 0. However, if you want to follow the formula, what do you do here? Put all the numbers that are odd from the dice. 1, 3, and 5. Now put the number that comes before given that. Only 6. Here's 6. Come on between these two. What's common between 1, 3, 5, and 6? There's nothing in common. Means there's 0. So 0 is the numerator. The denominator is going to be what? The 6. Always the one that comes after that. And 0 over a number is 0. And the probability of 0 means what? Possible to happen.
Wonderful.
Okay? Are we good? Are we good, class?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. You guys, all right. So you're going to get a question like this on the homework. So as I said, I like to solve this problem without using the formulas, but I like to show you both ways so you guys understand it better. All right. Okay, can I erase the board now?
Yes.
Okay. Same formula. Remember, we're still in conditional probability. So here's another question. Let's say you roll the die twice, or 2 dice are rolled, the same thing. You get, remember what that means, right? You get 1, 1 all the way to 1, 6, 2, 1 to 2, 6, and so forth. What's the probability that you get doubles given that the sum is 10? So really you can do this without what? Without working it out, but let's work it out here. So let's first of all do the numbers that add up to 10. All right. 1, 1 to 1, 6, nothing add up to 10. 2, 1 to 2, 6, nothing add up to 10. 3, 1 to 3, 6, nothing add up to 10. The first one is 4 and 6 add up to 10. 5 and 5 add up to 10. And 6 and 4 add up to 10. Do you agree from all the sample space when we roll the die twice, or the 2 dice are rolled, these are the only 3 that add up to 10. The rest, less than 10 or more than 10. Do you agree, class?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to wait a second. Everybody else agrees. So I did the second part after given that. Now I do the one before given that. Doubles. What are the doubles? Doubles means I might get the same number, either 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, and 6, 6. That's what doubles means. Doubles means you get the same number twice. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
So this is before the given that. This is after the given that. Are we good? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. Now what does the formula tells me? What's common between them? 4 and 6. Do I see 4 and 6 here? Nope. 5 and 5. Yep. 6 and 4. No. Do you agree there is only one of them that's common between these two that I circled? Do you agree? Are we good? Waiting for a response? What do you divide by? The number of elements after the words given that. How many of them add up to 10? Given that the sum is what? 10. So the denominator means what? This one right here. How many is that? 1, 2, 3. And you're done. The denominator is going to be always the one that comes, how many elements after the word given? How many add up to 10? Only 3. So the answer, my final answer is 1 out of 3. And I'm done. You have one like this on your homework. What do y'all think? Are we good? Okay, go ahead and copy it. I need to show you one more example of conditional probability on the cards, and then we'll go into another type of probability and then the odds. So go ahead and copy it, class. Okay. Are we done?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let's
Not
give you
yet.
one. Oh, let me just put down the answer then so you can copy it. The answer is going to be 1 out of 3. So, all right. Go ahead and finish copying, young lady. Okay, are you done now?
done.
All right, good. We're still on conditional probabilities, class. Okay, don't. Here's a question. You have a deck of cards, very well shuffled. Here's a question. Find the probability that it is a club, given that it is not a club. That's similar to your homework. What do you think the answer is? Anybody want to take a shot? You really don't need to do any work here. What does given that means? You cheated. You know it's not a club. So what is the chance of the club? It's zero. Because you cannot glance at it like this, with your eye. And, oh boy, I saw everything except club. So what is the chance of the club? The answer is going to be zero. You don't have to do any. Because given that means you cheated. You know for sure it's not a club. So how can you get a club? Okay? But if the question was worded like this, what's the word if it's a club? Given that, what is the probability it is, let's say, a face card, given that it is a club, what would you do? What are the clubs? Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, king, queen. All clubs right here. Do you agree?
Mhm.
All clubs. What are the face cards? Face cards, you have what? 4 jacks, 4 kings, 4 queens, and 4 kings. Do you agree? What's common between them? There is 1 jack, that's a club, right? 1 queen, that's a club, and 1 king, that's a club. So I have 3 common between them, right? Because the rest, the hearts and the diamonds and the spades, they're not in common. What do you divide by? Everything that comes given after given that it is a club. How many clubs do I have? 13. So the answer is 3 out of 13. And those of you who I think there's one person there doesn't know about cards. Just go to the images and you see it, and they know that will be my answer. Okay? And that takes care of conditional probability. Okay? Now I'm going to teach you probability of A and B instead of A or B. Teach you about odds, and we'll be done with the chat. Right? So go ahead and copy this. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay?
I have a question. Why is the 13?
Because given that it's a club, you have 13 members of each suit in a deck of cards. You have 13 diamonds, 13 spades, and 13 hearts. Because you have 13 clubs. Got it?
So you mean like 3 is like a 3 face card that has club, and 13 is like 13 clubs card in total?
Exactly. 13 cards that are total, they're all clubs. And these are 3 cards that are common. There are jack, there are both face cards and clubs. There are three of them because you have one jack that's a club, one queen that's a club, one king that's a club. These are the only three that's common between them. Remember, the formula is what's common between them. So if you put all the clubs and all the face cards on the side, what's common between them is three of them.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome. Okay, can I erase the board now?
Yes.
All right. Now we have the last thing you need to know about probability, and then you guys will be a champion, and you can be able to do any problem. Probability is probability of A and B, not or like we learned last Wednesday. The formula will be probability of A times probability of B.
Professor, we can't see the board clearly. Thank
Now,
you. Yes, thank you.
all right. So, and you multiply. Okay? So, for example, let's say you have a spinner here with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then you flip a coin. And you spin the spinner. If I tell you what's the probability that it will land on the number 2 and get heads? What's the key word? And. Let's say you're gambling. Say, all right, go ahead and take a spin. You spin the wheel. Go ahead and flip the coin. If you get 2 and heads in a row, you win the prize. But if you get 2, let's say, and tails, it's not or, it's and. So whenever you see the word and, the answer is going to be the probability of 2. That's when you multiply, you don't add, times the probability of heads. What's the probability of 2? How many 2s do you have in this series? 1. What's the total sample space? There are 10 numbers. What's the probability you're getting heads? Is 1 out of 2. And how do you multiply fractions straight across? 1 times 1 is 1, 10 times 2 is 20. And there goes my answer. So what does that mean? If I spin the wheel and flip the coin 20 times, one of those 20 times I will get 2 first and then heads. And that will be the answer. So whenever you see the word and in the question, you don't add the probabilities, you multiply it. Is that clear, class? Are we good? Okay, go ahead and copy the class. That takes care of everything you need to know about probability. All we have left from this chapter is teaching you odds in favor and odds against. Go ahead and copy a class so I can erase the board and teach you something. Last thing about it here, and it should be ready to go.
Professor, in this example, what are you trying to explain? When you said flip the coin.
Yeah, if you flip the coin, what is the chance that you're getting heads? When you flip the coin, you're either going to get heads or tails, right? How many heads do you have? 1. How many? So total sample space is 2. Heads or tails. That's why it's 1 out of 2. Do you understand me now?
And then this example, what has to do with clock?
With what?
With clock, which is you draw.
Because the question said, what's the probability that when you spin, you get number 2? When you spin the wheel, you can get 1, you can get 2, you get 3, right? The question is, what if I spin the wheel? What if this spinner lands on, this is not a clock, it's a wheel, spinning wheel. What is the chance that it will stop on 2, and then when you flip the coin, you get heads. So you have 2 events here. Let's say you are in a casino, said, all right, come here, spin the wheel. Spin the wheel, you get a number. So come here, flip the coin. If this lands on 2, and you get heads, you win the prize. Everything else, you don't win the prize. Okay, do you understand now? Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and copy it here so I can teach you all the odds. Odds in favor and odds against. Okay, can I erase the board now? Okay, I'll wait for your permission to erase the board, okay?
I'm done.
What cases we can use all these method probability? In what cases really in the life we can use?
When you gamble, and then also you use it when you do investment. You know, like what is the chance that your stock is going to go up or down? You know, if the stock is more than 50%, chance it will go over $7 a share. You go ahead and take a chance. If it's below, you don't take a chance. And also car accidents, insurance companies. The reason why you young ladies, if you're 20 years of age, the reason why that your insurance cost is higher because they count how many people have accidents in your age, and they find the probability that people in their 20s have an accident. They count how many of you have an accident when you're 20, right? Divide by everybody, and that's probability. And then they take the probability of people that are 60 years of age. How many of them there? Have an accident, divide by all the people in the whole world, whatever. And they figure out if your probability is higher than the people in their 20 to have an accident, they charge you more. If the probability is less, they charge you less. See, that's why people in your 20s, you have very expensive insurance rate. Why? Because the probability of you getting an accident is higher than the probability of people in their 30s or 40s to have an accident. Same thing if you have a hurricane. If you live in a county, the probability that you get a hurricane is very, very, very small. You don't pay, wind insurance. But if it's high, you have to buy it. Okay. Does that answer your question? Does that answer your question, young lady?
Yes, and can we use this probability in vaccines?
Exactly. Very good. The chance of people getting vaccinated, for example, for Republicans, it's low. For Democrats, it's high. So what do? You go and tackle the people that live in Republican areas. So what you do is you try to do a campaign to promote them. You bring actors. You may bring people with clout, with with like president or somebody to talk to them and convince them. Exactly. It's just a lot of areas. I can spend 5 hours telling you examples, but I gave you an example of the insurance because that's something you can relate to. Okay? All right, can I erase the board now, class? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, finally, and we'll finish the chapter. We're gonna learn odds, which is a little different than probability, okay? All right, so the formula is this. Odds in favor of, let's say, event E equals probability of E or probability of not E. Odds against E, you just flip it. Probability of not E over probability of E. All right, so let me give you an example similar to your homework so you guys have no problem. Let's say, what are odds in favor of rolling the number 3? Are you with me? Okay. So the formula tells you what? It'll be the probability of rolling 3 over probability of not rolling 3. So what is the chance of rolling the number 3? How many 3s do you have in a dice? 1 out of 6, right? Not rolling 3. If I don't want the number 3, what I want? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 5 out of 6. So how do I divide these weird fractions? I multiply the numbers that are far from each other. 1 times 6 is 6 over. I multiply the numbers that are close to each other. 5 times 6, which is 30. And I divide both sides by 6, and the answer would be 1 over 5. But if I ask what are the odds against rolling 3, all you do is you flip 1 over 5 becomes 5 over 1 or 5. And that would be the answer. Okay, go ahead and copy it. Well, I'll give you more examples. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay? So how we're doing with this example's odds? Easy? Okay. What if I ask you, find the odds of rolling a number larger than 4? Okay? So what does the formula tell me? It'll be the probability of getting a number larger than 4 over what? What are the numbers that are larger than 4? 5 and 6, right? Correct? So how many numbers are left? So the not 4 means what? I need to go for a number of what? 4 or less. So the denominator is going to be the complement of the numerator. So if I have, what are the numbers that are larger than 4? 5 and 6. So the denominator is going to be all those numbers except 5 and 6, which will be what? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what's the probability of getting a number larger than 4? 5 and 6 will be 2 out of 6. What's the probability of getting 4 or less? That means what? 4, 3, 2, or 1. That'll be 4 out of 6. So 2 times 6 is 12. 6 times 4 is 24. I divide both sides by 12. I get 1 out of 2. So the odds in favor will be 1 out of 2. Okay? All right, you can go ahead and copy it and let me know if you have any questions. And I'll give you a word problem in a minute here so you understand it better. So that way you see what's the, how do you, give it to you something besides the die here, okay?
Professor, here extra question. You said probability about stock market. For example, in stock market, if I want to invest, how I can know future of certain companies by probability that I can make money?
All right. Well, I invest myself. It's just a long this lesson here. I studied on my own and it took me 2 years to understand it. So I cannot give you the answer in like 1 or 2 words here. Okay. The way I invest, and I've been very successful in investing, but except these last 2 weeks, the stock market hasn't been the best. But so you can do, if you want to do probability to answer your question, is basically you do something called expected value. And which is you see what each analyst say about the stock. Each analyst studies the companies. You cannot take, for example, the word of one of them. You have to take the one that works for Chase Bank, one works for Wells Fargo, one works this and that. And each one of them are going to tell you the probability that your stock will double in price, right? And if more of them agree that it's going to double, the chance of it to go higher is high, then you go for it. If one of them agrees and 5 of them disagrees, then you say, oh, I'm not going to invest in that. So you got to leave, in other words, you have to leave the bread to the baker. People, there's so many things involved in the stock market. So I really don't want to just give you like too much details because you got to study PE ratio, expected value. You got to study the outstanding shares, see if the volume is large. It's just like a long story here. But if you want to invest, you can text me. I can give you some ideas. It doesn't mean I'm going to be responsible if it goes up or down. I can give you what I invested, but I didn't study investment on my own. I studied engineering and mathematics, but I studied investment on my own, not in school. So if that's what you like, you can text me and I'll give you a suggestion, but don't start telling me, oh, why is it going down or going up? It's just like my own interpretation, because there's always a risk when you invest money. Okay? Did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you. And how you said you follow the expertise opinion, right? You read.
That's correct. But I don't really, personally, I don't. I do my own. But for you, since you're new, just watch them. After you study it so long, then. But for now, yeah, just study. If you don't know about it, you have to study other people's opinion. Yep.
I will text you in this case.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's give you a real easy example about the odds. Okay, so let's say last example, then we'll be done for the day class. Let's say I have a jar of marbles, 7 green marbles, 2 yellow, and 10 blue. And you did really, really well. What are the odds in favor of pulling a blue marble? So the answer is going to be what? The probability of pulling a blue over the probability of not pulling a blue. That's a formula for the what? Odds. So what is the chance of pulling a blue marble? How many blue marbles do you have? 10 out of what? 7 plus 2, 9. 10 out of 19. What's the probability of not pulling a blue? If I don't want blue, means I want yellow or green. There'll be what? 9 over 19. So if I multiply these numbers, I'll get 10 times 19 over what? 9 times 19. 19 goes away, so the answer is going to be 10 over 9. But if I ask you what are the odds against pulling a blue marble, then you flip 10 over 9, it'll be 9 over 10. And that takes care. So this is another good example of odds. It's not that difficult at all. You can copy a class, and I can tell you that we are done with the chapters on probability and sets. Our next chapter is going to be on logarithmic functions. So next Monday, be sure you have a calculator ready. You should have it every meeting. Okay? All right. I taught exponential function and logarithmic function for my college algebra class. I have to be creative. I'm going to spend this weekend trying to think of how I'm going to deliver you the material in an easy way. So wish me luck. It's not easy teaching class. It's a challenge, which I'll enjoy, but to bring it to a way where you guys understand it is difficult sometimes. Okay? Okay, copy it. And we're done for today. I will see you next Monday, right? Because Wednesday you guys will be taking the exam. Please, don't text me says I forgot. Don't text me says can you extend it? I am not going to extend it this time. I'm telling you. Why? Because I'm giving you 2 full days. There are no excuses. All day Wednesday, all day Thursday. Please, for those of you in both of my classes, finish those both exams so that way on Friday morning I'm going to go ahead and start putting grades on campus. Okay? Have a good day, everybody. Copy it, and I'll see you Monday.
Thank you.